Good morning, everyone. Now, today we have started a new lesson, that is Unit 3 or Chapter 3, Classification of Elements and Periodicity in Properties, that is Properties. Before starting this chapter, I will let you know that there are two topics. First is, why do we need to classify the elements or the significance of classification, and the second topic is the development of the periodic table now have been deleted from your syllabus. So now we will start this chapter with the topic Mendeleev's periodic table, or that is because actually the main topic is the modern periodic table, but we have started with the Mendeleev periodic table because we know that Dmitry Mendeleev was considered as the father of the periodic table. That's why we have started with the Mendeleev periodic table. This topic we have already studied in class 10th also. So we all know very well that modern periodic table states that the properties of the elements are periodic function of their atomic weight. Actually, the Mendeleev classify the periodic table on the basis of the atomic weight of the element. Now the main topic of the chapter is modern periodic table. So now that is modern periodic table. Now let's start with the topic modern periodic table. Actually, we all know very well the periodic table is formed to arrange the element in a sequence, because we have the variety of the elements, they have the various property. So it is very difficult for us to learn the property of each and every element. So we have placed the element in a certain order, and that is known as the periodic table. So according to the Mendeleev periodic table, the physical and the chemical properties, both the property, one is the physical and another one is the chemical. The physical and the chemical properties of the elements are periodic function of their atomic number. The physical and the chemical properties of the elements are periodic function of their atomic number. It means that the modern periodic table it is formed on the basis of the atomic number. The modern periodic table was given by the Moseley. So the periodic table contains the horizontal rows as well as the vertical rows. The horizontal rows which are present in the periodic table are called the periods, whereas the vertical columns, we have the vertical columns are called the groups. So the periodic table has the period as well as the groups, and the periodic table depends, or the classification of the periodic table is depend upon the atomic number. Now this is the periodic table. So the periodic table has 1, 2 and that is 18. So the periodic table has the 18 groups and we have the 7 periods. 18 groups and 7 periods. Now these 18 groups are divided as follows. This is the group 1 and group 2. So they are known as the S block element. Group 1 and group 2 are known as the S block element. Now in these two groups, the group number 1 is known as alkali metal. They are considered as they all are lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. They are considered as the alkali metal, whereas the group 2 elements, that is the beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and the radon, they are known as the alkaline earth metal. We have both the chapters in our syllabus, that is the S block element and that is the alkali metal and the alkaline earth metal. Now the group which started from group 3 to group 12, they are considered as a D block element. Group 3rd to group 12 are considered as a D block elements. They are also known as the transition elements. They are also called the transition element. Mostly they are metal. The transition elements are the metal. Now group 13 to group 18, they are considered as a P block element. Group 13 to group 18 are considered as a P block element, and mostly they are the non-metals. They are considered as a non-metal. Now there is a line, that is a zigzag line. So they show that is silicon, germanium, they all are the metalloids. They are the metalloids. Now come to this group, that is the D block element or the transition element. The D block element, also called the transition element, because they show a transition. Transition means a change from metallic behavior to the non-metallic behavior. They are the metals, so they show a change from the metallic behavior to a non-metallic behavior. That's why they are known as the transition element. Now at the bottom of the periodic table, we have two category. This is known as, which is starting from the cerium, this is called the lanthanoids, and that is started from the thorium, that is known as the actinoids, and in the combined term they are known as the F block element or inner transition series. They have two names. One is the F block element, they are considered as a F block element, and they are also known as the inner transition series. One is the lanthanoid and another one is the actinoids. Now the next topic is the electronic arrangement. We all know very well that the distribution of electron into orbital of an atom is known as the electronic configuration. Now let us discuss the division of electron in the S, P, D and F block. I have already told you about the S, P, D, how the blocks are distributed, what type of elements are present in these blocks. So now we are talking about the distribution of the electrons or distribution of the element or the properties of the elements which are present in the S, P, D and F block. So the first block is the S block, that is the S block element, S block elements. Now if we are talking about the S block elements, it means that the elements in which the last electron enters in the S orbital. The last electron enters in the S orbital of their outermost energy level are called the S block element. So it consists of the element of, that is group 1 and group 2. They both are in the S block element. The group 1 is known as the alkali metal and the group 2 is known as the alkaline earth metal. And the S block element have the general electronic configuration, that is NS2. This is the general electronic configuration for the S block element. If we are talking about the group 1, the general electronic configuration is NS1, and if we are talking about group 2, their general electronic configuration is NS2. So this is the general electronic configuration for the S block element. It consists of the element of group 1 and group 2 having the ground state electronic configuration of outermost shell F, NS1 and NS2, and collectively it is known as the S block element with the general electronic configuration of the NS2. This is the general electronic configuration for both, that is NS1 to 2. NS1 to 2. 1 to 2 means because it consists of the two group. One is the NS1 and another one is the NS2. So its the general electronic configuration for the S block element is NS1 to 2, means the NS1 to 2 means that the number of the electron varies from 1 to 2, not more than 2, but it should be lesser than 2 or the 2. This is the S block element configuration. And if we are talking about the characteristic of the S block element, so the S block element are the soft metal. They are having a low melting and the low boiling point. They have the low ionization enthalpies. They are very reactive. The elements which are present in the S block are very reactive, and they readily form the univalent or the bivalent ion by losing one or two valency electron. For example, we have that is sodium. Sodium. If we know the atomic number of the sodium is 11, and if it loses one electron, so it becomes Na plus. It means that the element which are present in the S block, they form the univalent ions easily by losing one or the two valency electron respectively. And because of their high reactivity, they are highly reactive. The elements which are present in the S block are highly reactive. So because their reactivity is very high, so they are never found in the pure state. They are not found in the pure state. Mostly they are found in the combined state because of the high reactivity, and most of them act as a reducing agent, and most of them impart characteristic color to the flame. They mostly form the ionic compounds except lithium and the beryllium. Most of the elements which are present in the S block, they form the colored compound. Now the next is the P block elements. So the elements in which the last electron enters the p orbital. The last electron enters the p orbitals of outermost energy level are called the P block element. So the element of group 13 to group 18, group 13 to group 18 they constitute the P block element. So they have the different, if we are talking about the group 13, 14, 15, 16, so they all have the different electronic configuration, but the general electronic configuration for the P block element is NS2 NP 1 to 6. The meaning of NS2 means in the S orbital there should be 2 electron, and the meaning of 1 to 6 means in the P orbital the number of electron varies from 1 to 6. Either the P orbital contain 1 electron, 2 electron, 3 electron, 4 electron, 5 electron, or maybe 6 electron, but not more than 6. So this is the general electronic configuration for the P block element. And if we are talking about the characteristic of the P block element, so they include both metals and non-metals, but there is a gradual gradation of the metallic to the non-metallic character as we move along the period from left to right. As we move from left to right, so there is a gradual changes takes place from the metallic to the non-metallic character. Means now if we are from the left hand side, so there are the metal, and if as we move to the right hand side, so mostly there are the non-metal. So the metallic character increases as we go down the group. As we move down the group, the metallic character of the p block increases, and as we move down the group, it means we are talking about the group. When we move from upper position to lower direction in the group, the metallic character is decreases. And the p block element, I have told you that the s block element mostly form the ionic compound, whereas the p block element mostly form the covalent compound. Some of the p block elements show more than one oxidation state in their compound. The meaning of the oxidation state is, earlier we have used the term valency, now we are using the term oxidation state for the valency. They occur a gradation from reducing to oxidizing property as we move across the period of this block, and their ionization enthalpy are relatively higher as comparison to the s block element. And we know that it include, the p block element include 13 to 18. So in the p block element, there are two groups which are very important, that is the group 17 and another is the group 18. So the group 17 is the halogen family. It is known as the halogen family, and group 18 are the noble gases. So this group, these two groups are very, very important. This is the halogen family. The halogen family has a particular characteristic, that in its outermost orbit, they have the one electron lesser. They have one electron lesser to complete their octet. And if we are talking about the noble gases, so it means that the noble gases are also considered as the inert gases. Why we call them as the inert gases? Because they are non-reactive. And why they are non-reactive? Because they already have a completely filled octet. In the last orbit they have the 8 electron. That's why it is a noble gas. They doesn't want any electron for the reaction to complete their octet. So these two group are the very important. The general electronic configuration for the noble gases is ns2 np6, and for the halogen is ns2 np5. These two are the electronic configuration for the halogen and the noble gases. In the halogen family we have chlorine, bromine, iodine, fluorine and astatine, and whereas in the noble gases we have argon, krypton, xenon, radon. These all are the noble gases. They doesn't require any electron because they have the fully filled outermost orbit. Now the next one is, this is the second one, and the third one is, that is D block elements. Third one is the D block elements. Now the elements in which the last electron enter in the d orbital. Last electron enter in the d orbitals of their last but one energy level constitute the D block element. The element in which the last electron enter in the d orbital, they are considered as a D block element. The D block element are also known as the transition element. D block element are also known as the transition element, because this group is lying in between the s orbital and in between the p orbital. So it constitutes from group 3 to group 12. Group 3 to group 12 constitute the D block element, and the general electronic configuration for the D block element is n-1 D 1 to 10 ns0 to 2. Now it means that D 1 to 10 means in the d orbital the number of electron varies from 1 to 10, and in the s orbital the number of electron varies from 0 to 2. So this is the electronic configuration for the D block element, which is also known as the transition element. The D block comprises 3 complete row of the 10 element and 1 incomplete row. These row are called the first row, first transition series, second transition series, third transition series, which involves the filling of the 3D, 4D and 5D orbital respectively. And if we are talking about the characteristics of the D block element or the transition element, so they are the metals having the high melting and the high boiling point. We know very well that the transition element are mostly metal. So they have the high melting point, they have the high boiling point, and most of the element of the D block are colored compound. They have a very good tendency to form complexes when they combine with other element, so they form the complexes. Their compound are generally paramagnetic. They show the magnetic property. They exhibit the several or the various oxidation state. This is one of the most important property, and there are many transition element like nickel, cobalt, platinum, chromium, vanadium. They are used as a catalyst. They are used as a catalyst in various reactions. And what are the catalysts? We know that these are the substances which increase the rate of reaction. They are not able to initiate the reaction, but they increase or they speed up the rate of reaction, are known as the catalyst. So these are all about the property of the D block element. Now if we are talking about the F block element, we know very well that the F block lies at the bottom of the periodic table. The F block elements are also known as the inner transition series. Now the elements in which the last electron enters the F orbital. The last electron enters the F orbital of their atom are called the F block elements. Now there are two series for the F block element. The first is known as the lanthanoid, and the second one is known as the actinoids. First is the lanthanoid series, and next one is the actinoid series. The lanthanoids are also known as the lanthanides. Lanthanoids are also known as the lanthanides, and they are also called the rare earth metal. The lanthanoids are also called the rare earth metal. Whereas in the second series, this series starts from the actinium. That's why it is known as the actinoids. And if we are talking about the general electronic configuration of the F block, so the general electronic configuration for the F block is N-2 F1 to 14. 1 to 14 means in the F orbital, the number of electron varies from 1 to 14. N-1 D, in the D orbital, it varies from 0 to 2, and NS2. So this is the general electronic configuration for the F block element. In case of the lanthanoid, there is a filling of 4F orbital, and in case of the actinoid, there is a filling of 5F orbital. This is the difference between the lanthanoid and the actinoid. And if we are talking about the properties of F block element, so all the F block element, they are the heavy metals. F block elements are the heavy metals. They exhibit the variable oxidation state. They generally have high melting point. They have high boiling point. They form the colored complexes. They have a tendency to form complex compound. The F block element have a tendency to form the complex compound. Actinoids, this group, actinoids are radioactive in nature. These groups are radioactive in nature. Now these are that is the SPDF blocks element are the one way of classifying the element. There is one another way to classify the element, and that is known as the classification as, this way is called the classification as metals and non-metals. Classification as metals and non-metal. So in addition to classify the element into the SPDF category, the element can also be classified as the metals and the non-metal. So the metal, if we are talking about the metal, so the metal comprises more than 78% of all known element and appear on the left hand side of the periodic table. If we are talking about the metal, they are the left hand side of the, they are present in the left hand side of the periodic table. We all know very well about the properties of the metals. There is no specific definition to classify or to distinguish between the metal and non-metal. Metal and non-metal are classified on the basis of their property. So metal are hard, metal are lustrous, they are rigid, they doesn't show the fluidity, they have a high melting point, they have a high boiling point. Generally at the room temperature, the metal remains in the form of a solid. Only there are two metal, that is one is the gallium and another one is the cesium. They are the exceptional case because they remain in the form of, they are very soft and they have the very low melting point, while the rest metals are the very good conductor of the heat, they are the very good conductor of the electricity. Metals have a property of malleability, ductility, etc. And on the other hand, if we are talking about the non-metal, so non-metal are present on the right hand side of the periodic table, and they possess the property which are opposite of the property of the metal. It means that they are non-lustrous, they are non-malleable, they are non-ductile, they remain in the form of a that is the liquid on the gaseous form. Most of the non-metal are in the liquid and the gaseous form. And there is one metal, that is there are so many non-metal, there are so many metals in the periodic table, and they are neither the good conductor of heat and nor the good conductor of electricity. So these are the property of the metal and the non-metals.